Good afternoon. You're watching News Channel 5 at noon. I'm Callihan Marshall.
Happy New Year. Now it is popping up here at Powderhorn. Structures like this one help to preserve our mule deer population. 3 of the 4 students have decided to turn their tassels and walk out of Mesa County. Interest rates are super low and buyers are very available. CMU is expanding. The city is working on getting more broadband. The defense brought in almost a dozen witnesses that have had some sort of connection with Jones.
Let's go zoom in on Grand Junction, see what that looks like.
Now this is what the color will look like. Lauren, the Western Colorado Shriners made me a beautiful crown. As you can see, it actually matches my outfit.
Drone goggles were made by NASA and meant to be .15, which is double the legal limit for us.
Has CMU been seeing more kids come over internationally? Tell us what that's like. Help prevent a fungus. And now I did talk to people here at the National Weather Service.
Although students do feel they're getting the proper training they need.
A bunch of the clients made, see, I'm going to hold it a little closer.
67 on Tuesday again. Creeping up there, which is just the way the cookie crumbles, Lauren.
The State Patrol and the Colorado National Guard is conducting a DUI, impaired driving, and distracted driving simulation at the main entrance.
The #1 task CSP thrives on is safety. So instilling tactics into high school students is top on the list, especially now during prom season. Putting them in the situation should do the trick.
This is a really good chance to get a dynamic try at driving with what we call drunk goggles. They mimic an impairment to somebody.
And let me tell you, none of it
Wow, this is horrid.
was easy, but it definitely taught me a bit of a lesson, which is the sole purpose of the exercise.
Almost every year, one teen dies here in the Grand Valley between prom and graduation due to distracted and impaired driving.
Some students have been through the hardship of losing their fellow classmates, whether it be through drunk driving or distracted and impaired driving.
My brother, when he went through high school, one of his best friends actually died in a car accident. She fell out of the car.
This happens more than it should in the Grand Valley, causing a community to mourn and hundreds of upset teens. So students had this to say.
Just remember to be safe always. It's not worth that one text or that one radio station to change.
Now, if you're wondering how I did during the simulation, well, let's just say this was the first time I've ever been cuffed and put into a patrol car.
You put yourself in their situation. Can you tell us what that was?
20-year-old Taylor Bradley walks around parks here in Mesa County.
I like that one too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're welcome.
To ensure everyone is comfortable.
I take blankets from local thrift stores and Goodwill, and I try and get them as nice and as cheap as I can, and then I haul them out.
Taylor is a full-time mass communications major at Colorado Mesa University, and this idea stemmed from a class.
I was assigned a project in which I was supposed to go around and find local homeless people and interview them.
After long talks, she learned quite a bit about them.
Everyone that I spoke to, I would ask, okay, what are your plans for winter? And no one said anything. You know, I was met with a lot of shrugs. One girl was just like, well, I'm gonna freeze.
So she went on a mission to solve the issue.
My brain just kept going back to people being cold and outside in the winter. And almost at the same moment as the words came out of my mouth, the idea was born, which was to give them blankets.
At first, Taylor used her own money to purchase blankets, but then started a GoFundMe account to help. She buys 10 blankets a week at $2 to $3 each, all for the well-being of the homeless community.
It's more about showing them that they're people and that they matter and that someone notices and someone cares.
Which seems to be pretty successful.
It's very welcoming, and it feels like we're not the only ones out here struggling, and that we have other people that are hired and that has jobs and whatnot, and they want to help us out. It just makes me feel like special and like loved. And
Taylor has already given away over 50 blankets with a goal of 100. She recommends to everyone to always give a little because the outcome feels amazing.
The supervisor approved the request only if they would go in smaller groups, but they all went anyway, and that's when the trouble began. There's not as much care, I guess, as we would like to see around here on the western slope. Witnesses say a male entered the store and requested to see a handgun on display. The flags have been ordered to be flown at half-staff from sunrise to sunset today from Governor Hickenlooper.
I am very familiar with all these tools. Now, is there a certain decibel? Thanks so much for watching. For all the latest